Hey guys, what is up? I hope you're having a fantastic day so far, and I am here with a Steven Universe theory. Now, originally I was planning on making a theory based on one of Ronaldo's theories, but since Ronaldo was kind of meh, and Ronaldo didn't really say anything that crazy, I figured I would postpone that theory, and then do one that I've been wanting to do since Storm in the Room first aired, and that theory is, was Rose in Storm in the Room real or fake? This debate has been going on since Storm in the Room first aired, and I wanted to look at both sides of this theory and also offer my own personal thoughts. I also recommend that you go check out the channel Nate Don't Fly and his theory about Rose being real in the room, as his video served as a big inspiration for me in making my own theory on this topic, so please go check him out. But with that, let's look at the case for the more interesting of the two sides, Rose being real. So ever since the beginning of the show, there has always been the question of how much of Rose still resides in her gem and to what extent does that affect Steven. We have seen possible hints at this in Mr. Greg when Steven starts singing the song Both of You. While the lyrics do reflect Steven's love for both his dad and Pearl, the lyrics also relate to Rose's love for both Greg and Pearl. Also, when Steven sings, the lighting changes to pink, possibly hinting at Rose. In Steven's dream, we also see that Steven is able to look through Blue Diamond's eyes and cry her tears. Anytime that Steven has been able to use his dream powers before, though, it has been through a personal connection. But Steven had never met Blue Diamond before, so this leads me to think that this connection is through a combination of Rose's history and relationship with the Diamonds, as well as Steven's empathy for others. So with these possible hints at Rose Quartz being present, let's take a look at Storm in the Room. In the episode, we see Steven go into Rose's room and asks if he can talk to his mother. The room fulfills Steven's request, and we see for the first time in the series, Rose and Steven interact with each other. It's a little awkward, and Steven is pretty shy, offering a handshake when Rose first greets him, but the two soon start to bond playing video games and football together. Now, it's worth noting that while playing video games and football, Rose makes comments saying that video games are marvelous and that all sports are beautiful. This is most likely due to the fact that Steven has never met Rose himself, and it's only based on what others have told him, and then this is how the room formed Rose. And yes, I say formed because at this point, I don't believe that the real Rose would have been in the room yet, but I'll get to that in a minute. But after a very random Charlie Brown moment? Seriously, why was that in there? I don't understand. We get Rose and Steven having an honest heart-to-heart. Steven notes how nice it is being able to talk to his mom and wonders why he hasn't done this before. Rose then tells Steven that they have been together the whole time, hinting that Rose might have actually been more present than we were led to believe. Steven then pulls out his phone to take a picture to capture the first time that he and his mother ever hung out together. But upon looking at his phone, he sees that he is in a room of complete darkness. So at this point in the episode, it is actually confirmed that the real Rose is not in the room at that point. Steven then tells the fake Rose that she isn't really his mother. The fake Rose is surprised by this comment, and then Steven begins to let all of his bottled up emotions loose when he calls Rose out for all of her lies. The room begins to form into a storm based on Steven's anger, frustration, and uncertainty, and then the fake Rose floats in the middle of it, looking down on Steven. Steven asks if the only reason Rose had him was to hide from the mess that she made. It is at this point where it is most likely that this is the real Rose. She tells Steven to remember the tape and asks him if he believes that she was lying in that tape. Compared to everything else that we have seen previously in the episode, this seems most like Rose, genuinely caring about Steven and making sure that Steven knows that she loves him, as opposed to just saying that everything is wonderful, beautiful, and perfect. Rose then initiates a hug, and this is the first time that Rose really initiates anything while in the room. Steven then tells his mother that he knows that she loves him, but now he has to live with everything that she has left behind. Rose then turns into a cloud and then drifts away, leaving Steven alone in the room. So from what I gather, I believe that if Rose was actually in the room, it was in those last moments when she tells Steven to remember the tape and assures him that everything in that tape was genuine before she drifts away. But let's look at the other side of the argument, Rose being fake. From the moment Steven requests to see his mother, we actually see that Rose is being created from the clouds in the room, showing that she isn't real. And during their time spent together, Rose acts pretty uncharacteristically from what we have seen of her so far in the series, up until those last few moments of this episode. And then, as stated before, when Steven takes out his phone to take a picture, there's nothing in the room. Plus, we know that gems are just that, gems. Their bodies are just made of light, but the only actual physical thing is the gem itself. Steven now having Rose's gem would make it impossible for Rose to physically be in the room with him at the same time, because it is impossible to duplicate Rose's gem for her to be there with Steven. But Rose didn't necessarily have to be there physically. As I just said, that is impossible for many reasons. But it might be possible for her to be there spiritually in a way. As I said towards the beginning of this video, it has been hinted at several times in the series that Rose may have been more present than we are led to believe. So it may be possible for Rose to communicate through the Cloud Rose towards the end of the episode to Steven. It is only after Steven tells the Cloud Rose that she is not really his mother and calls her out that Rose seems to act the most like herself, as we have previously seen in the show. This is an incredibly emotional moment for Steven, and we know that his powers as well as Rose's are based on their emotions. So perhaps after Steven lets all of these bottled up emotions loose, this offers a way for Rose to communicate with him before the Cloud Rose drifts away. In my personal opinion, I think that Rose was fake the entire time, both physically and spiritually. It is impossible for Rose to be there physically, and her being able to take control of the cloud and communicate through Steven is a bit of a stretch, since the show hasn't brought up that Rose was able to swap bodies or communicate through others. That seems to be a power that is exclusive to Steven. But at the end of the day, there is still a lot we don't know about Rose Quartz, so it is still in the realm of possibility of Rose being present in some way in the room. It has been hinted at several times throughout the series that Rose is still around without actually being there, so who knows, maybe we'll uncover more secrets about Rose in the near future that will help give us clarification on this topic. But until then, let's just appreciate the fact that Steven got to speak to his mother in some way. And this episode is not filler, guys. Stop saying that. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more Steven Universe related content. And until next time, guys, take care.